There are about 44,000 students at Penn State's main campus. 25,000 of those students live on campus. Student groups and classes are raising awareness about the dangers of sexual assault and how to prevent it. Project Thong is a project that a women's studies class has created to raise money for victims of sexual assault.
We're selling underwear to raise money for victims of sexual assault. When they go to the hospital, they have to give up their underwear and all their clothes, so for evidence. So when they leave, they have to leave in paper underwear and paper clothing.
Men Against Violence is a student group comprised of men that meets at the Buki building and the Center for Women Students weekly. They hold programs and discussions to get men to take responsibility and stop the threat of sexual violence.
But our main goal is men, and we educate on the problems of sexual violence, physical violence, emotional, psychological, like any relationship violence that occurs.
Tanner continued, stressing how much of a problem sexual assault really is.
The biggest problem is that it's happening with people that the women know, their friends, boyfriends, friends of friends. It's not always like in dark alleys, so.
Here on Penn State's campus, the Buki building offers resources available to students who have encountered any type of sexual violence. The LBGTA Center, as well as the Center for Women Students.
We really are able to act as a support base. Sometimes just being a listening ear is one of the best things that we can do for a student. But we also help connect them with other resources, both on the university or the community, depending on what kind of action they may want to take.
These resource centers can be a source of refuge and advice for victims and their friends who are advised and supported by the counselors at these centers.
In order to provide support for them and to educate them about their options and help them work through the process of healing and making decisions after a crime has occurred.
Is the problem because of the high rate of criminals in State College, or could this be the nature of the college atmosphere?
On a college campus, sexual assault is a serious problem. We know that from crime statistics that the age range of students at a college is really the most prevalent sexual assault incidents.
Underreporting is also a problem, and many have weighed in as to the reason why.
That's a common element that you hear in victims of both domestic violence and sexual assault. You know, it's my fault. I should have not worn that, or I must have sent the wrong messages, or.
But does false reporting affect the legitimacy of reports?
You know, cases of false reporting are so rare, and I think that's really important. You know, people sort of blow that number up or imagine that number would be higher, but it's a really, really small percentage of people that falsely report incidences of sexual assault in particular.
Reporting from University Park, I'm Marcus Green.